It is a Climatizer zone. So Dogma, the only one left alive for the side of Crazy Raccoon, is going to be able to possibly recover some of these banners, but it's going to be a bit difficult considering, you know, one person is inside, so he's going to have to slip on by. Oh, he got it! Beacon has been taken. Problem is he going to get the res? The res is a bit far, though. It is going to be a bit of a difficult one. But, instantly, Dogma's drone is down, so he's going to be a bit of a solo for a while for the side of Crazy Raccoon. So, yeah, I mean, poor guy. Going to have to play on his own for now because they did get pushed out from the side of Riddle Order. Looking a lot more aggressive today, and speaking of aggressive, Yoko Yari, Wyatt Chang with the 30-30 doing absolute damage here, and they do spot a team inside of this car, and Wyatt Chang actually running the Mad Maggie this time. So they do have the drill to kind of just drag out this team. And this is going to be a bit of a difficult hold for the team that is inside the car at this very moment. If I am not mistaken, that is Reignite. And I do not think they're actually running the Watson here, so it's going to be a bit difficult once the nades are going to be starting thrown in the inside of that car. But Nebula Esports eliminated in the background by HAO. So the fights on towards the outside of Climatizer is going to start to wrap up a bit as teams not much space to rotate in, and knowing APAC North, they do not like to share these spaces at all. As soon as they see someone, as soon as they see the opportunity, a moment of weakness from any of the teams here, they are going to go for that one immediately. But X-Ties already gotten themselves a building here. Sizu is trying to look over everything. So he's just trying to take stock of every single team. Soleil deciding to occupy the middle dome. So that could actually be a really good position if the circle does close in their way. But it doesn't often go there. So maybe have to make a decision as soon as the next circle does pop out. Dartheption kind of just holding the backside. So I think they have one of the best positions here in this zone. And Reignite, who was actually getting poked out earlier by the side of Yoko Yari with this 30-30 plus the drill from that Mad Maggie. So I think Yoko Yari does have the opportunity to kind of just farm up those Evos, possibly get all the way to purple if that team does decide to just stay there the entire time. So there's going to be a bit of a fight here in the underside of these domes. Multi-level fighting here in Climatizer at this very moment.
Yeah, let's go over there.
But there's still some teams kind of hanging around Epicenter. Some teams hanging around the survey campsite. So Dosukoi Impact is still on towards somewhat of the outside of the zone, but they don't want to be shot out in the open here, so they're going to have to be careful. So we're already seeing the hard zone teams getting those armors up. Riddle's already on triple purple, so definitely a threat that you have to watch out for
Enemy spotted over there.
going into this final zone. And I think Sizu possibly might be able to get a very juicy EMP to get all the way from napkin to purple, possibly. The round 2 closing is gonna start.
Yeah.
But where is this circle gonna end up? It's gonna draw. Oh, was smack dab in the middle of Climatizer? What is going on? So Soleil actually has a prime spot. X-Ties as well. Yoko Yari doesn't have to move too far. Reignite kind of in trouble as the car that they're occupying at the moment is not actually in the zone. Diaz in towards the north side. Possibly have to clear the backside here. Problem is the squad you have to clear is Fnatic, and that's one of the teams that could be a threat if you are going to start a fight very, very soon. But it is still Dogma looking for a respawn beacon, but it is a bit far from his location here. And the closest one is going to alert every single squad that is still near the epicenter side. Especially SBI is still on top of that epicenter. Yeah, the middle of epicenter, actually. Fennel is going to start to fly in, so they're going to go for the respawn instead. SBI has the opportunity to possibly go for some kill points here. Kinotrope is also right on top of the respawn beacon, so EMP to try and respond here from Dogma. They do get their armors back, however, the ammo is a bit low for their side. It's only enough for 3 reloads possibly, so Justin is going to try to run back to Dogma's location. Have to be a bit careful when it comes to getting into the zone. SBI is still on top of Epicenter. I wonder if they're actually running Rampart here, because they have been staying here for a while, but look at the amount of teams. That's 1, 2, 3 squads in towards the more north side of Climatizer here. Soleil, also X-Ties, also Fennel starting to occupy some of the domes here. And I think it's going to be a bit violent, not going to lie. Meteor trying to look over the edge. HAO is in that spot. Yoko Yari is actually right under them, but what is the decision here for the side of Kurotan? Possibly gain them more space in this position. Meteor, they do have that Watson, so that space denial is still in their hands, and especially it is perfect here for Climatizer, as the amount of rooms and the amount of floors that they have definitely can be a problem for a team trying to push into Meteor at this very moment. But round 4 circle is going to start to close very soon. SBI, they do not have a Valkyrie, but they're going to decide to rotate pretty late here. They do have the they do have the balloon here to possibly fly into the zone itself. But it is going to be a bit troubling to actually get into the zone. So I think the only position that they can go for is possibly the top of one of the 2 domes here. Already occupied, but speaking of occupied, it seems like Satuki giving that reminder to FD Yan that it is a occupied spot in towards the bottom side. They do get the finish, so Pulverex is only going to be too strong at the moment. Having a hard time just trying to get into this building, and I think they're going to have to, because Fnatic is just holding this one off. Fnatic actually from the farther side of the north zone, just swooping on in. Great timing and getting into that room, and now they have a position that is very, very powerful here. Can definitely gatekeep the north side. Pulverex is there, Northeption trying to enter the room, but I don't think they're going to have to enter it that quickly. They do have a bit of zone still in towards their side, and as round 4 closing is going to start, Dosuko Impact is flying in, as you can see in the background, and you can see some shots from Kurotan. The Hemlock doing absolute damage, but that is Dosuko Impact because Kurotan is actually distracted, able to land on the roof of this North Climatizer building. Oh, but Karanti, okay, RC, Riddle Order, and Reject starting to poke each other out here. Crazy Raccoon back to all 3 members here because of that prior respawn. They are going to have that position for now, but the round 4 closing going to make it a bit difficult for the teams who are occupying the south side. Oh, but they don't decide to take the train instead. Riddle Order is going to take the fight to Reject. And Saku already on low HP, running down Gibby at the moment, so Gibby Caustic Valk. Damn. The double quick boy moment for this team. Karanpi still a bit hesitant to try and pull the trigger here against Riddle Order. But Reject Winity actually with the Wraith Mad Maggie Caustic. And they just port out of danger here, so no longer are they going to have to worry about this Riddle Order squad. Instead, Crazy Raccoon is going to have to worry about Riddle Order instead, as they are in the top floor. But look at the pokes already towards their side. They're getting eaten alive by the zone. And Pulverex, speaking of eaten alive, it seems like Meteor has found Pulverex trying to rotate in towards this court side. But Fnatic still holding the backside of this door. I think they're going to try to navigate on in near this left side, as that is where the zone is going to fall, but it is already spotted here by the side of Yoko Yari, so that's a good move towards them. And Leica First one down for the side of Fnatic. You don't want that one. You don't want that specific legend to be down as well. So they might actually have to fight tooth and nail to try and defend Leica here to try and get that res. But UKF is going to get absolutely beamed by the L-Star of 5ZG. And Satuki, the only one left alive for Fnatic, going to try to pop a bat. And Fnatic is out in 15. Yoko Yari with a good hold in towards their spot, not allowing Fnatic to rotate easily here, even popping the catwall to prevent them from committing too hard to that play. And X-Dies from the dome, they're actually playing on top of it. They're just going to have to try and live, because I don't think anyone is going to have an angle on them as soon as the circle does close in. But what is Soleil going to decide to do here? Pop the Gibby ultimate. It doesn't hit them too much, so it's good RNG towards the side of X-Dies. We are already seeing some chaos in Climatizer, Ryan Shang, APAC-N. Everyone is absolutely dying. Pulverex is finally out of the equation. 5CG, who actually killed Fnatic earlier with this specific L-Star, is going to get pelted now. Nades are going to start to fly. HAO going to start to move in, and if they can get this right side, actually, that'd be a really good position, but unfortunately, 5CG doesn't have the L-Star pulled out, but it doesn't matter. HAO piling on the damage here, but it's not going to be enough. HAO is eliminated, unfortunately, and that is going to be Yoko Yari holding on for dear life here, helping the team that is on the courtyard to just hold out for dear life, and that is actually Northeption with one of the best positions at this very moment. 6 squads left, and all of a sudden, all hell broke loose for about 2 minutes. But it's gonna be hell breaking loose once again in just 30 seconds. And the drill doing absolute damage, forcing Northeption out of cover. Yoko Yari, one of the teams who has the biggest opportunity to win here, possibly. But Meteor is also on top, right above them. I wonder what Yoko Yari is going to do. Someone's holding a nade, so I think they're going to try to sky nade here. Going to try to get some initial damage. If they do catch one of the members of Meteor off guard, that could be them possibly winning it out, but the scan is actually going to discourage them. I think they realize, yep, it's not going to be a possible push unless we do take out this generator. And as soon as that generator is going to go down, they're going to start chucking nades in towards the second floor, but Fennel at the bottom of the bridge instead. And do they spawn someone in the distance? Yep, it is going to be Reject Winity. And once again, Obli now with the Wingman this time. Wingman Havoc can do some absolute damage, and they actually take one player down from the underside of the bridge. So one of the battle members is already out of the equation here. Very nice shots with the Wingman, and we can see on the overlook, Soleil Gaming going to be eliminated, and this is still a very good position from the side of Reject. They do have the head clutch, however, they're not the closest one to the zone. That's just going to get the kill. Meteor getting absolutely pelted by everyone in this zone. Reject, oh, they're just really making everyone suffer. Reject with the head glitch. The drill gonna do absolute damage, and 6 kills already in towards their side. What a game from Reject Winity so far, as we only have 3 squads left. Northeption's gonna be eliminated, and it's gonna be Yoko Yari versus Reject Winity, and the Wingman is gonna start to sing. Datch and Wyatt Chang are gonna go down. The only one left alive is that Catalyst, and Reject not gonna let that slide. They are gonna take game number 1 of the regional final.
We have our Apex champions.
Hello and welcome back to the Apex Legends Global Series APAC North Regional Finals. My name is Sneaky Frog on the mic, of course. Game 1 just occurred and Reject Winity with an absolute heater of a first game and getting that dub at the back of Climatizer. And speaking of Climatizer, we are going to be running World's Edge once again as we do take a look at the replay and the wingman of Obli, who we're kind of used to seeing Sangjun on that weapon, but Obli said, yeah, let me just have this one real quick. Let me just do a lot of damage. And Karampi as well, popping off on towards that Caustic. Yoko Yari had no chance. I think Karampi was actually 1v2ing that team in towards that north side. So, I mean, absolute performance here from Reject so far. And yeah, first team to claim a dub for the day. That is definitely going to help their effort in getting to that match point. So World's Edge is going to be run back in game number 2. Storm Point right after this. So going to be same old drops for most of the team at this very moment. But yeah, pretty hectic last game, not gonna lie. Circle ended up in the middle of Climatizer, and I don't think anyone expected it, knowing the position of the teams. I think they were really intent of just occupying most of these buildings and try and see if they can just wait out the zone, but the zone actually kind of pulled away from the buildings, instead more in towards that small patch of snow right outside of Climatizer where Reject was actually sitting. So I think Fenwell could have actually gone a bit farther in this game if Reject didn't actually notice him from the south side. But the problem is Soleil was in the exact same spot. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit of trouble just existing in Climatizer when most of the teams is looking over the edge, trying to see if they can gain more KP, and knowing how greedy APAC North is when it comes to that KP. Yep, survival definitely not on their side. But back into World's Edge we go. And pretty interesting lineups that I've seen so far. I think the most interesting lineup that I actually saw was Valk, Caustic, and Gibby. So the double thick boys and the Valk on that flyer. So yeah, gonna be pretty easy rotations. Plus you have the fighting prowess of that Gibby. Plus, you do have that area denial from the Caustic. So that is actually pretty good balance from their side. But, going to take a look at Reject Winity here, who did win that last game, who is running one of the few Wraiths. If not, they could be running the only Wraith in the lobby, actually. And I think there was one point here in Climatizer where they had to rotate from, I think, the spot where they're right on top of Riddle Order. But that spot was actually not too good, considering Crazy Raccoon was in the same area. So they just ported around danger here and instead got themselves into safety. So really good usage here of the Wraith Portal, and really smart from the side of Reject in that situation. As we do take a bit of a flyby here, W Esports landing in the countdown side. And Landslide going to be occupied by HAO, of course. Nebula Esports, I mean, I think they're going to get pretty okay loot if they do open up the middle. Unfortunately, I don't think it gives the purple core anymore. Or no, not the purple core. The purple Evo, of course, since we have switched to the core system here in the armors. So Nebula Esports, hopefully they do maybe get some armor upgrades, possibly just some good guns. I think 30-30 is still a pretty high priority for some of the teams, as was evident earlier as Reignite was getting absolutely destroyed by Yoko Yari, who was actually on the inside of Climatizer. And yep, just going to be a lot of looting going on zone. Let's see where it is going to end up. It actually is. We went from a super north pulling zone, and now we're gonna have a south pulling zone this time. So a bit of a variety here in the regional final, not just in the side of not just in the side of Climatizer. And it's good that we have a variety here. It kind of is gonna show how the teams do adapt, especially Yoko Yari here, who had to stay in Climatizer. Yeah, they only had to stay in Climatizer the entire time. And they did get a good second place placing here thanks to that one. And already someone is shooting shots, and Sang-Jun with the charge rifle. Cracking an armor already, and triple blues for the side of Reject Winity. So that's going to really help them. Yeah, help them with their future fights. Possibly going into the zone, but I think they're pretty safe in the zone at this very moment. Don't really have to stray too far. But we're already seeing some early rotations here and early fights. HAO, 5CG, the man who used to have the L-Star in his hands, is actually going to run in to Overrex here. And FT Yan, very nice shots with the flatline. Mozambique in his hands, but he gets insta down by 5CG. Great shots on the Hemlock. Hammer Drill is in the corner. Umi-chan still pretty healthy here, so could just be a finish. 5CG is going to take down FD Yan, but the Watson still safe within this building. Problem is, HAO, they are a three-man squad, so they can just outpower, outmaneuver, outnumber the other side here. Watagashi, Hammer Drill, already taken down. Pulverex, already not a good start from their side earlier, and they are going to start from bad to worse. And Right going to try to get this last player, but they're really good at escaping here. Spotted up, 31 crack. Problem is, someone else is in the general area as well, so they're going to have to be careful. Watagashi going to get taken down. It's actually Nebula Esports who's already done looting countdown. Instead, they're going to go straight into HAO, and Hunto going to get right. Nebula Esports ruining the game plan here of 5CG, so there's not only one, but two rats running into each other. Umi-chan trying to get some revenge. You kill my team, I'm gonna kill you right then and here, and there we go. First blood actually goes in the way of HAO. Umi-chan could be up next. Only a solo here for Pulverex left, and an absolutely spicy start for Pulverex. And Fnatic is also in the general area, is going to say hi to their former teammate here, Umi-chan. Let's see if they can get the finish, but I don't think they're going to overcommit yet. They're just going to stay within their room. They're going to stay here for now. Fnatic has been playing more, I wouldn't say more zone, but it's kind of like a half and half. They're like a half and half milk here in this lobby. Sometimes they do like to play hard edge, but if they do get the opportunity to rotate on in very quickly, they are going to get there immediately. But yeah, Fnatic just going to stay in their room for now. But there's still some teams on towards the outside of this zone at this very moment, as we do spot Soleil, who was in the tunnel, about to come out. Fnatic is also in the general area, so Soleil is actually going to try to look over. Going to attempt to see if they can gain some ground, possibly gain some KP. Meteor Kuroton is already on a red, so possibly that could be them spotting out a drop, and having your Bangalore already on red armor at the start of the game is an absolutely stellar start, in all honesty. E36. Also quite close to Harvester, actually. North Eption also trying to look over this hill. Oh, Meteor. E36. And not just that, Reignite also starting to poke Meteor in this area as well. So Meteor is going to have to stay inside for now. Going to have to play it safe.
Not alone. There are a lot of squads around us.
Crazy Raccoon. Where are they going to run into? Crazy Raccoon is kind of stuck here. So Soleil is actually in the tunnel at this very moment. So I think they're going to try to time this correctly, just as right. And yep, you can see some teams actually flying in. Meteor already escaping from the danger of Harvester, flying on into Thermal Station. Crazy Raccoon actually prepping the caustic smoke here, so I think they're gonna try to slide on in towards the low ground, possibly getting some of the cover here on towards the left side. Already seeing some teams trying to rotate on some of the zips here. And Meteor is actually eliminated. What just happened? Meteor just got absolutely deleted off of the map. Kenotrope. Where did they come from? They actually have been inside of this thermal station this entire time. And to be fair, that is where they dropped. And that is the benefit. Good RNG for their day this time. As round 2 is going to start very, very soon. And Razy Yuka Pero is already crawling on the ground. Kaida is just a death box. And Razy, the only one left alive. Be careful, my friend. There is some gas traps in the general area. And as soon as one pops, you already know that there is going to be an instant reaction. And knowing that the Satoshi Sparks is also in very close proximity, but I think they're playing the tunnel in towards the underside, so he's going to be safe for now. But Diaz going to start to push, and Razy going to be in big trouble. Satoshi Sparks maybe is going to try to collect the KP, and getting scanned by 2 separate Bloodhounds. It went from bad to worse here for Razy, so Razy's going to have to possibly get out with a contingency plan here, but already having 2 of your teammates already down. Oh, but Yoko Yari, that's instantly 1 HP. Is going to try to see if he can slide in. Army's going to take him down, but that's going to be a 1-for-1 so far. Yoko Yari versus SBI Esports. Nades are going to be starting to throw him, but the couch ball is absolutely blocking all the vision on the other side. And since the Bloodhound is already dead for Yoko Yari, this is going to be a bit of a difficult fight considering Sangriu is on that Bangalore, but Army is also going to go down. Really good fights that we are seeing so far. Nemesis doing absolute damage, but Sangriu can actually clutch this one, but the drill is absolutely shredding through his armor. And the push is going to continue. He does have the knockdown shield up. Mozambique not going to do enough damage. Yoko Yari survive the onslaught for now, but they do lose that in the process. Do they have a Moby? It seems like no is the question, but I think they're